Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The diagnostic trouble code P0713 indicates an issue with the automatic transmission fluid ATF temperature sensor circuit in the Honda Odyssey model years 2011 through 2017. This specific error code suggests that there is an open circuit in the ATF temperature sensor, which is crucial for monitoring the temperature of the transmission fluid. The ATF temperature sensor is typically located on the transmission itself and provides temperature data to the powertrain control module, PCM. The PCM uses this data to make informed decisions regarding transmission performance and efficiency. If the ATF temperature is too high or too low, it can lead to suboptimal transmission performance or even damage. Identifying and addressing this DTC correctly is essential to ensure your vehicle operates efficiently and avoids potential transmission issues. The main component affected by the DTC P0713 is the ATF temperature sensor itself. This sensor plays a critical role in maintaining proper transmission function by monitoring the temperature of the automatic transmission fluid. It is strategically located on the transmission assembly to ensure accurate readings and timely responses to temperature variations. The ATF temperature sensor's output is connected to the powertrain control module, PCM, which uses this data to adjust shift points and improve fuel efficiency. A malfunction in this sensor can adversely affect transmission performance, making it vital to troubleshoot any associated issues. The ATF temperature sensor is an electrical component, and problems with it typically stem from circuit issues rather than mechanical failures within the transmission. The potential causes for DTC P0713 have been identified as primarily electrical circuit problems. Since this code indicates an open circuit in the ATF temperature sensor, any disruption in the electrical path can trigger this issue. One common cause is poor connections that may result from corrosion or wear over time, leading to unreliable sensor readings. Loose terminals can also create intermittent faults, which may not always cause the DTC to trigger immediately, but can lead to erratic transmission performance. Importantly, mechanical issues within the transmission are not a factor for this fault code, so the diagnosis should focus solely on the electrical components involved in the ATF temperature sensor's operation. Correctly identifying these causes is essential for effective troubleshooting and repair. Symptoms associated with DTC P0713 can manifest in various ways and may indicate transmission performance problems. One common symptom is irregular shift points, which can lead to jerking or unresponsive gear changes. These issues are often caused by the PCM receiving incorrect or missing temperature data from the ATF temperature sensor. Moreover, failure to properly monitor fluid temperature can increase the risk of transmission overheating, causing further damage to the transmission components if left unaddressed. Drivers might also experience poor fuel economy as a result of these transmission issues, ultimately affecting the overall drivability of the vehicle. Recognizing these symptoms early on is integral to preventing more serious mechanical failures down the road. For the first step in troubleshooting DTC P0713, start by turning the ignition switch to the on-to position without starting the engine. This initial action powers up the vehicle's systems and allows access to the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. Utilize the HDS to check the value of the ATF temperature sensor, V, as it is displayed in the automatic transmission data list. If the reading exceeds 4.93 volts, this indicates a fault in the sensor circuit, warranting further investigation by progressing to Step 3. Conversely, if the voltage reading is not above this threshold, it suggests an intermittent failure where the system may be operating normally at that moment, but the potential for connection issues remains. In such cases, it is advisable to inspect for poor connections or loose terminals between the ATF Temperature Sensor and the Powertrain Control Module, PCM. This preliminary assessment sets the foundation for further troubleshooting of the circuit. In the second step of troubleshooting DTC P0713, ensure that the ignition switch is turned to the lock position to safely disconnect power from the system. After that, disconnect the ATF temperature sensor connector meticulously, ensuring that no damage occurs to the wiring harness or connector pins. Following this, utilize a jumper wire to connect terminal number 1 of the ATF temperature sensor connector to the body ground of the vehicle. This action creates a direct ground connection, which is a crucial part of the diagnostic process. By grounding the sensor in this manner, you can test if the issue lies within the sensor itself or the wiring leading to it. It's essential to proceed carefully during this step, as incorrect connections can result in additional errors or complications in the diagnostic process. After successfully grounding the ATF temperature sensor in the previous step, turn the ignition switch to the on second position again. With the ignition on, use the HDS to check the voltage reading of the ATF temperature sensor, V. If the voltage drops to 0.07 volts or less, this result signifies that the sensor itself is functioning correctly, indicating that the issue may lie in the wiring or connector elsewhere in the circuit. This reading is a critical indicator that warrants further investigation, so you'll want to proceed to step 8 if the voltage condition is satisfied. If, however, the reading does not reach the expected low voltage, this suggests a need to examine other components or connections in the system that may be hindering proper operation. Proper interpretation of these readings is essential for effective diagnostics. In this step, turn the ignition switch back to the lock 0 position to ensure that all electrical power is disabled before proceeding with any further connections. Afterward, carefully remove the jumper wire used in the previous steps to disconnect the ground you created earlier. It's now time to connect terminals number 1 and number 2 of the ATF temperature sensor connector with a new jumper wire. This action will help to further test the circuit integrity by providing a path for the sensor signal. Ensuring that the connections are secure is vital, as loose or poor connections can lead to erroneous readings or the inability to diagnose the issue correctly. By creating this new connection, you are allowing the system to clarify whether the sensor operates correctly in a different circuit scenario, which is crucial information for further diagnosis. For the final repair verification following the troubleshooting of DTC P0713, begin by checking the operation of the ATF temperature sensor to confirm that it is functioning as expected. Once you've verified its proper operation, proceed to clear the diagnostic trouble code from the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, using the Honda Diagnostic System. This step ensures that any lingering fault codes are removed, allowing you to monitor the system for fresh errors or issues. After clearing the DTC, a test drive of the vehicle is necessary to ensure that it performs correctly under real-world conditions. During this test drive, pay close attention to any unusual behaviors in the transmission, such as irregular shifts or warning lights reappearing. Completing this step successfully confirms the integrity of the repairs made and ensures that the vehicle is back to optimal performance. Preventive maintenance is crucial for ensuring the longevity and reliability of the ATF temperature sensor and the overall transmission system. One effective strategy is to regularly inspect and clean electrical connections associated with the sensor to prevent corrosion and ensure solid contact. Keeping an eye on the sensor's performance through periodic checks can help identify any potential issues before they escalate into serious problems. Using high-quality transmission fluid that's compatible with your Honda Odyssey is also vital, as it directly impacts the functionality and durability of the transmission components. Regular maintenance routines, including fluid changes and system checks, can go a long way in prolonging the life of your transmission and its sensors. Proactive maintenance will help maintain performance and avert costly repairs down the road. In conclusion, addressing DTC P0713 involves a thorough understanding of the electrical components associated with the ATF temperature sensor. This troubleshooting guide highlights the importance of diagnosing electrical issues rather than attributing them to mechanical failures. By systematically working through the troubleshooting steps, one can effectively identify the underlying cause of the DTC and implement corrective actions. Regular monitoring and preventive maintenance can ensure that the sensor operates optimally and the transmission remains healthy over time. Remember to keep your Honda Odyssey's transmission serviced and checked regularly to avoid potential issues related to this sensor. Ultimately, paying attention to these components will help sustain vehicle performance and reliability. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.